This their hairstyle makes me look old?
The other one.
But I like that hairstyle.
This one makes you look young.
Hey YouTube, hey Instagram, welcome back. It is 7:45. I am 45 minutes late. I know I always said that I want to start this video at 7 o'clock. But to be honest, I am playing the nurse here at my home where I am taking care of many sick people who are at various degrees of sickness. And so, I got caught up with that, doing the duty of a wife. It's plugged in. All right, so we're ready to get started. And the topic tonight is, oh my gosh, that's her tutu for ballet. Yeah. So I am in my living room, right? And if you're on Instagram, you can see here is the family photo, and here is the office. Yes. So this is what my husband set up for me here at it says immer noch, dass ich muss warten, dass die Leute sagen, dass ich live bin. Does it say that I'm live?
Es braucht dann noch Zeit wegen Verbindung und so.
Wow.
Schmeiß es weg.
Nein, schmeiß die nicht weg. Ich esse das später. Also, anyways, on YouTube, it is a pre-ordered program, and the discussion is honesty always the best policy? That is the discussion for tonight. And we have a certain amount of time to dedicate to this topic because I feel like, especially with the body positive movement and everybody rating themselves as a 10, this is something that is actually been really alarming to me because how much why you throw away the I don't like when people throw away food. We're gonna be talking about that, guys. Honesty and it being the best policy. There is Apollonia. She's in both frames in all of her morning glory. Evening glory. Is it still saying that I'm loading?
I'm not on Instagram.
Can you please check for me? Okay, guys, so let's get this started. Is honesty the best policy? So I want to start with the body positive movement. And I feel like body positivity has done more harm than good. I know that we want to be more inclusive and we want to make people feel like there is someone for everyone and that you're beautiful no matter what you think. But I believe that sometimes that can be a very dangerous statement because you can have a situation where, especially as a coach, you can have a situation where people feel like they can accomplish certain goals that are not within their rank and file. So I'll give you a typical example, right? My daughter. No, let me not use her as an example because she's cute. I'm not just saying that because she's my child, okay? But I would have to say that how do you know? So let's take it like this. If you are a good, I'm very, very afraid of having this conversation, guys, so please bear with me. Does it still say that
Wait.
What's so difficult about that? Okay, so if I had to say, we had a rating system, right?
Ich habe keinen Speicherplatz mehr. Warte kurz.
Okay, so in the mating rituals of human interaction, men and women rate themselves on different qualities. Let's start there. Now, these qualities, according to men, right? So what men want are someone that is, I'm speaking in general terms for what most men want are women that are physically attractive, cooperative, and good looking. And so a lot of the times I've been hearing that certain women fall into a different kind of category of beauty. So that means that um, what one person might find attractive might not be necessarily what another person finds attractive. And so attractiveness is objective. Do you believe that attractiveness is objective?
What does that mean?
It means that you are attractive depending on who you talk to. So everybody can be a 10 depending on who you talk to.
Yeah.
See what I mean? And there is the problem. And let me tell you why that is a problem. There has been scientific studies, and as a matter of fact, I was watching a video that was talking about this. It was one of these Kevin Samuels review videos, and the person reviewing the video said that there's a science behind it, which has to do with the symmetry of face. Are you listening? Are you listening to me? Okay, but I'm explaining to you why that is false.
Yes.
The symmetry of a person's face depends on the science of their beauty. So if the more asymmetrical a person's face is, the more beautiful they are scientifically. And that is that if you put up a picture.
That is a problem.
Why is that a problem?
Because you want to let science tell you what pretty is.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's a very good point, though. I'm not saying that science tells us what pretty is. What I'm saying is that science has shown us why consecutively, so that means generally average, when you have...
Because people see...
Can I finish? Ma'am, can I finish? Yes, people see on commercials, but who decides that those people are the people to be put on commercials? And who tells the business people that those are the right people to put on the commercials? Scientists! Scientists have put pictures. So let's say I have two pictures here, right? This is a pretty person and this is an ugly person. And I ask 10,000 people, hey, which one of these pictures do you like? And they always pick the pretty person. It can be then assumed that pretty is based on a certain amount of qualities. And one of those qualities, am I online yet?
Yeah.
One of those qualities is, hi Apollonia, is the symmetry of a person's face. And it's okay. It's not a bad thing. Because yes, that there is truth that some people might not fall into the category of being attracted to a particular type of person, okay? But for the most part, when you see a particular picture, like how you can say Chris Hemsworth is good looking, that is a popular, agreed upon opinion. Many women will agree with you. Do you see what I'm saying? You see where I'm getting at? So, now that we can agree on that, guys, then I can get to the next point. Symmetry of attractiveness in the face. Not just in the body, but in the face, because there are other things that equal attractiveness. So, the top of the eye, are you listening?
Yes.
And the top of the ear has to be equal to the bottom of the ear and the bottom of the nose. So in terms of symmetry, my face is pretty symmetrical. So this here, your ears has to be in line with the rest of your nose and your face. Sideways, you will see that the nose bridge goes like this without humps or bumps. So the nose bridge has to straight, which also means that even if you are a person who has larger noses, the nose and the lips have to be equal to each other. That's why Michael Jackson looked weird with that small ass nose and the lips that come like this. That looks weird. That's not symmetry, you know? Okay. And so the lips start at a certain place, the nose starts at a certain place, and everything has to be kind of equally proportionate to each other. All right? That's the first scientific fact. And I'm not saying science dictates everything in our lives. It's not what I'm saying at all. But science has done the research to say why is it that a lot of people are attracted to these particular looking to of people across the board, regardless of race, right? The second thing is youth. The younger a person, well, it's not technically youth, but people are attracted to youth because youth means fertility. Fertility means that you can pass on your seed, right? If you're old, then you're different. I mean, with the exception, of course, there are always exceptions, but if you're old, then you're less attractive because that means that you're in a distant season of life, which is not in the season of reproducing and recreation, which is what attractiveness is essentially supposed to do. So that means body parts, you have to be fit. This is where I'm getting at with honesty about fatness specifically. Because when a person is not fit, then they have health complications. Health complications are a liability for your partner, especially if you're a woman, because in a relationship, women are the ones who provide the nurturing and caring, right? They take care of the children, they breastfeed the children. If you're always running to the doctor because you have clogged arteries or high blood pressure or diabetes, you're not an asset to your family, you're a liability. Because as the CEO of the family, who runs the family, if you're always sick, you can't do a good job at that, which means that the man has to always step in and he can't focus on what he's supposed to do, which is provide financial and leadership to his family. So a woman who has a fit body looks attractive because the man is saying, this is the person I can have children with. She has usually a reasonable size of breast because that means that she can breastfeed, which is something that, you know, traditionally was the way you fed your children past a certain age. She has somewhat nice hips because she can bear, the larger the hips, the more children a woman can bear. And her skin glows. Her lips don't need lipstick. I'm not throwing phrases at anyone. Her lips don't need lipstick. Her eyes are usually larger, which makes them look dilated, which makes them look like she's fertile. And, you know, her hair is long. Hair is a very political thing, too. I think I can have a conversation just on hair, which I will not do today, because we have been told as women of color or women with kinky curly hair that our hair can't grow, right? And what has been the case with you? Since I stopped cutting it to grow. I love you. So yeah, like her hair was like, God, your hair is so long now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so all I'm saying is that, yeah, okay, if I tell a person who doesn't have those things, right? A person who doesn't have Maritza? I think it's Maritza. I'm not sure. Anyways, if I tell a person who doesn't have these qualities, hey man, you know, all right, maybe you can't do too much about the fact that you are not a symmetrical faced person, right? Maybe you can do something about the fact that how fit you are, right? And there are other things. So you can, hey, what's up? So if you're not someone who can do much about physical facial appearances, like you don't want to go get plastic surgery, or you don't want to get you know, a nose job or your lips plumped or whatever. My daughter, man, she could be lucky. And I just want to understand, for the record, why you said what you said earlier. You forgot what you said?
What?
You forgot what you said?
What did I say?
That you want to let science dictate how beautiful a person is?
Are you going to?
Am I gonna? But that's not answering the question. Like, if
Should we let science dictate what pretty is?
I saw.
Tell us like what is attractive and what not.
So how would you? Okay, then let's do it your way. If we don't let science dictate how we decide who's a 10 and who's a 5, which 5 just means average, it doesn't mean you're ugly. How are we supposed to decide what's pretty and what's not?
What do you mean, like from the outside?
Yes, I'm speaking from a man's perspective because we're not gonna deal with the hurtful things that women do to each other by lying, which is the today's topic. Is honesty always the best policy, or do we need to lie to each other to help soothe the pain of the fact that there are certain things about our physical and emotional being that are not great, that are not a 10, that let's say it like that. And then if we can't say that, then what is the context to say, hey man, you might want to think about losing some weight or dressing differently, or so how do we decide that? If we don't use science, then what do we use? The Lord.
Why do you have to decide?
Why you gonna answer a question with a question?
Yes. I don't want anyone to tell me what pretty is and what's not pretty. Like, I think people, like men, think that other people are pretty, even some people might find them ugly, you know? But I think that, what's a good song? I think that, wie heißt das auf Englisch?
Was?
Heutzutage.
Nowadays.
I think that nowadays, people are trying to look more on the inside of people, like how they are in the inside. Because you can have like a pretty person, but it's like a bad person.
Yeah. Okay. So you can have a pretty person.
That's mostly the case.
That's bullshit. That is bullshit.
I'm just.
With the exception of me, like, and there's a reason for that, because I'm not even going to get into like why I'm not the nicest person, even though I would consider myself like a 7.5. 10 years ago, I would consider myself. 10 years ago, how old was I? 38, 28. Okay, let's say 20 years ago, I would consider myself a 9. No, 8.5, because I'm short. I'm average height. If I were tall, you couldn't tell me nothing. Like, get out of my way. But to your point of saying that how pretty people have a bad attitude, that's also not true.
No, I'm not saying it like that, but...
What are you saying? You're saying that something close to that,
9.
though.
No.
She's so wrong. Oh my god. So what are you saying then? You're saying that pretty people have a bad attitude. No. What are you saying?
Okay, well, short people have a bad attitude.
That's
too.
That's not pretty.
I know, but
if you are a woman,
hang
on a second. Short people.
No, wait, pretty people don't have a bad attitude.
Yeah, I really wanted to make that point for you, but why? Why do pretty people don't have a bad attitude?
I'm not saying not all of them. It doesn't matter.
We're speaking in general terms here, so.
Like how you tell me pretty people. How do you call it? Like how you call Justin Bieber?
Oh man, he's a bad privilege. Example. Justin Bieber.
Listen to me. Pretty people privilege. Okay, maybe some people might take that for granted. That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
He's a narcissist. He's not a good example. Most pretty people.
What I mean, but
okay.
Like that's how I'm going into that Richtung. Like I know that I'm pretty and this and that.
They're arrogant.
Bad, but okay.
So, well, okay.
I would say that's not gonna come.
I would have to respectfully disagree that people like Justin Bieber and the next one, the black one, what was his name? The one who beat up Rihanna? Chris Brown. People like him are the exception. Most pretty people are very nice, and I'll tell you why. They have had an easy life. So they think that everybody behaves the way people behave towards them. They think that people are like that in general. All right? So they get treated nice at the store. They get free stuff all the time. People want them to be in their space because it's like, especially if you're a woman, you get you're like a status symbol. So people want you in their clubs. They want you in their restaurants. They want to be friends with you because they want to be seen with you. And that's kind of how it goes. But for regular people, if you don't have pretty privilege, it's called, right? If you don't have pretty privilege, you got to be nice. And what happens is that people who are regular, which is not a bad thing. I'm not saying that being regular is bad because, most of us are regular. If you weren't born so well endowed, then you can be nice. And if you are not nice, then you do yourself a disservice by having a bad attitude on top of being average or less than average. That actually takes down your marketplace value by having a bad attitude. You see what I'm saying? But pretty people don't have that problem because they're pretty. So everyone's nice to them. So they're happy. So because they're happy, they feel like the world is a great place to live. It's like, la la la. You ever see a pretty person, especially a blonde person walking down the street, like it's sunny right now. It's like cold here in Germany, guys. I'm even wearing a long sleeve and I'm inside. And you see like these, especially 15-year-olds, you see them together. Like they're nuts, and the prettier they are, the more nuts they are. It's like, what are you so damn happy about? I'm pretty. Look by this one, asshole. Case in point, she be bouncing all over the place, and I'm not saying that just because she's my kid that she's pretty. But this is her life, We go to the market, we go to the store, especially when you were small. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. We went to a department store. All right, I was buying some regular stuff, some shampoo. You know what I'm saying? Just the regular cosmetic stuff. I'm standing in the line, and you know how they set up these places in a way where you have to pass all of the sweets and chewing gum and stuff, and it's right the same size as your child, so they see it, and then they're like, "Mommy, chips." Yeah, see, mommy, buy this, buy that. And I looked at her, and I'm like, "Dude, no, you just had this, and this. Like, you're not getting any more." She wanted Smarties. That's where Smarties come from, guys, Germany. And I'm like, "No, you're not getting the Smarties. Just stop, all right? It's not gonna happen." I leave the store, guys, all right? I leave the store. A woman comes chasing after me with the Smarties that she bought for this thing here. Because pretty privilege. She couldn't stand to see her little sad face. She didn't even make a face at her. She was just standing there like, damn, mommy just did me like that. Like, wow.
And you not carry me.
I didn't carry you. That's true. Like, wow, right? No Smarties for me. The lady felt so sorry for her. Sie hat so viel Mitleid gemacht, dass she bought it for the child with her own money, ran after me, and gave it to the girl. This thing right here. This thing right here. That happens all the time. I'm at the supermarket. I'm at other things. Hey, little girl, do you want this or that? Or hey, I'm at the farmer's market, in a place where you buy your produce, your vegetables and fruits. Hey, you want to try this, little girl? Or hey, do you want to have some free shit? It's always free stuff.
I've been there, girl.
And she says it now, and that's what you're talking about with the Justin Bieber syndrome, where she's like, well, I'm pretty, like, this is how my life is gonna be.
Yeah, like this.
See, and that is a problem where you lack humility to say, like, yeah, life is great. I'm very grateful to be well endowed, and I really appreciate that I am well endowed, but I do understand that there are other people who are not in my situation, and so I'm grateful to not be one of those people, so to speak. Maybe not say it like that, but you know what I mean? Like, just be grateful to that the world is a nice place because of who I am. Does it make people superficial? Superficial, like shallow, like, oh, I only like you because you're pretty, or because that can be the other side too.
Yeah.
But everybody's superficial. Would you be with your boyfriend if he was ugly? Exactly. So why do we not be honest with each other and say, yeah, I am attracted to attractive people. And if you're not attractive, you have to make up with it. Have to make up for it with cooperation, niceness. What's another thing? Cooperation, niceness.
Eating.
Eating,
Butter?
not eating butter. I don't think eating butter is a requirement for most people. Cooperation, niceness. There was
Self-control.
self-control
I
for the
don't know.
fruits of the spirit are left on me. There's a third one.
Please stop.
Apollonia, come on. There's a third one, and I wouldn't say humility. Humility would be the third one. Cooperation, niceness, and humility. All right. I would say having a great attitude, because having a great attitude is something that I feel I struggled with, that made it very difficult for me to maintain relationships, friendships, across the board, because of the same. I want to call that a thing. I'm going to say Justin Bieber syndrome. You know, if y'all don't know, for those of you who are slightly older like myself, Justin Bieber, when I refer to Justin Bieber as a syndrome, I refer to people who have pretty privilege, who act in a way that is almost slightly deranged. And when I say deranged, it's like this 4-year-old, except you're not 4, and you just do stupid, crazy things that are extremely dangerous to yourself and those around you, but you're able to get away with it just because you're pretty. So people have like this, it's called like the halo syndrome, I think. Where it's just like, yeah, okay, I guess it's okay. And they, like Justin Bieber was doing a whole lot of stripping this. Chris Brown too, when he beat up Rihanna, like, did he spend a day in jail? Like any day at all? Did he spend?
I don't know.
I don't think he did. If he was just a regular black man, he would have been in prison for some years, I think. What do you get for a domestic violence or an assault charge in the States? Lot of time. Do you know what I'm saying? And I mean, like, again, I'm not saying that I'm, like super gorgeous or fabulous or anything, but there have definitely been situations in my own life where I've done things where the rules were somewhat set a certain way, and I didn't follow the rules, and it was just like, it's okay, and that can also be just me having a positive attitude, like, oh man, I forgot, can you just let this slide with, this one time? I really believe that. I remember the time a man buying that it groceries because he forgot his wallet, and you were like, "It's because you're white."
What happened to him?
One time he was at the store.
Where?
In Belize. He thought he always has his wallet. That's really crazy.
Yeah, he went.
He went to the store and he was supposed to buy his groceries, and he didn't. He forgot his money, and the guy just was like, "Oh, that's okay, man. I'll buy these groceries for you." Like, I was like, "Oh, damn! Somebody bought you groceries,
Yeah,
son?
yeah.
Like, what?" And so the guy was like, "Yeah, whatever." And Cynthia was like, "Yeah, because you're white."
Chris Brown he was sentenced to 5 years of probation.
5 years of
And he
probation.
had to do 180 days of community labor, 1 year anti-domestic violence program, while Rihanna had a restraining order against him.
So no jail time, basically. He beat her ass in public. All right, kidnapped her.
You think that was a
He beat her up.
Johnson does
Yes,
not.
because he beat her in the club. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, if you know the story. He beat her in the club, dragged her off in his Lamborghini or whatever the car with the fly open doors have, and drove off with her against her will, and told her in front of people that he was going to kill her. And he didn't serve a day in jail. How many hotel rooms has Justin Bieber crashed?
46.
He's not allowed here in Germany, in some hotels in Germany.
Siehst du? Ich hab das nicht gewusst. See, I was just talking out of my butt right there. But that's a real thing. Like, Justin Bieber is not allowed in certain hotels in Germany because of how Do you know what a destruction of property charge is? And they have that because the rules don't always apply. They don't have always the same rules here as they do in the United States. But there is a destruction of property charge here. And when you go to a hotel and you trash a hotel, you don't always get. You don't. She went back to him too. Did you know that Rihanna went back to see?
They got into a fight into his car.
But still, like even she was haloized him because he's a good looking guy. I'm telling you, people who look. So they got into a fight in the car.
Yeah.
But people heard him tell her that he was gonna kill her, and she went back to him. I remember that actually, Mar. I remember that. But I'm saying, trashing hotels, beating people up, destruction of property, assault. And you don't go to jail? Yeah, I mean, if I ran a hotel and you trash my hotel, yeah, okay, you can pay the damages, but I would still want more reparations than that, man.
So, you know what happened?
What happened?
They were at a pre-Grammy party, and they actually had a little argument earlier because Chris Brown had something with the woman that he was working with, and the woman showed up at the pre-Grammy party. And unexpectedly, and then she started to cry, and then they argued on the way home.
Wait a minute. That's not what happened.
Wait.
Rihanna gave him VD.
Listen to me.
Why would he beat her if he was the one who was being busted?
No, he had a woman. And then she found out. And then the woman showed up at the party, and she started to cry, and they got into an argument in the car on the way home. And Rihanna was upset because she found a text from the other woman on their phone.
Yeah, she was trying to be the face of abused women. But, I could talk about Rihanna
and then Chris
her.
Brown said that she started to throw the phone at him and say that he hates him, and she started to hit him, and they were in a little Lamborghini.
I knew it was a Lamborghini.
And he was fighting her. And she was fighting him.
All right, there are many things wrong with this story, but I just want to
stick. It's not even done yet.
You need to bundle my female stock.
He said that he punched her and busted her lip.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he wasn't shocked, and he didn't know why he hit her like that. Chris and Rihanna then grabbed.
But his is not the. Let me just stop you with the details right there, Cynthia.
Her.
Yeah, Mike Tyson move. Why is that funny? This is not funny.
I know it's not.
But what I'm saying is that
the way how he's saying it, the way how he's telling the story.
He tell the story.
Yeah.
I'm done with this. But the fact of the matter is that this kind of Chris Brown, Justin Bieber.
She was yelling that he's trying to kill her. Rihanna got out of the car.
No, he said, "I'm gonna kill you."
Yeah, and she was saying, "Help! He's gonna kill me."
Yeah,
she got out of the car and started screaming that.
Yeah, but he drove away with her in the car. But the fact of the matter, all right, first of all, you don't hit a man. Like, that's not a thing to do, ladies. Please don't stop practicing that. Because regardless of how you feel about domestic violence, women need to stop trying to be equal to men in that way. There is a physical difference between you and a man, even if you weigh more than him. And we need to stop feeling like we could take these men on. That is not okay. Because then when he hits you back, if he's a crazy ass Chris Brown, then we're going to have a problem because that's going to hurt. All right? That's really, take it from someone who's been there, who's done that. That's going to hurt. And you can't claim domestic violence. This is from a personal experience point of view now, all right? You can't claim domestic violence if you start the fight. And a lot of women don't know that because all we hear is, oh, man like beat woman, and when you go to police, they don't help you. That's the law. That's what I learned the hard way, is that if you initiated a fight with a man or a woman, then that person is by law, legally, in their right to defend themselves. Because of the same shit of being equal. Now, if we change that and say men and women are not equal, then you can say that regardless of what I did, he knows that he is in a stronger position than me, and he shouldn't be trying to put his hands on me regardless of what I do. But that's not the case. Under the law, if you start an argument with a man and he hits you, if you hit him first, then you are also responsible for assault. Therefore, the case is no longer domestic and it is an assault charge for both parties. If you're willing to spend that night in jail to prove your point to this person, then go ahead. But that happens a lot too. We start the physical part of the argument, and then when the person retaliates, which they're not supposed to, but some men are Chris Brown or Justin Bieber, don't have themselves under control and hit you back, and then by then it's too late. But the rules don't apply to pretty people, as you can see, right? Because how you gonna be telling people, kidnapping people, beating people up, and telling them in front of God and everybody, I'ma kill you, and not serve any time in jail? And then she went back to him, but I don't want to deal with her because she seems to have dealt with her issues. Chris Brown has actually done this before. Did you know that? I think he beat his mom or he beat his stepdad. Yeah. He got problems. He beat up somebody, some relative of his also, before he had beat up Rihanna. He's out of control. Out of control. But nobody can check him because of the same reason nobody check R. Kelly. For the same reason that people don't check Justin Bieber. Apollonia, what is she doing? All right, that's right, kids.
He's not allowed in China.
He's not allowed in China? China is, Justin Bieber, we don't want to discuss him. And China is communist, so we don't really have to worry too much about that. Anyways, is honesty always the best policy? Right? That's the question. Can I honestly tell Rihanna, oh, boy is full of crap and you need to get as far away from him as possible? Can I honestly tell Chris Brown, get some help, get therapy? Can I tell my friend who is not who's not a 10, who's not a 10 or an 8 or a 9, maybe an adjustable 6, that she shouldn't aim for Chris Hemsworth, and maybe she should aim for Edward Norton or Harry Potter? I don't even know what his name is. What's that boy's name with the glasses for Harry Potter? Ugh.
Radcliffe.
Yeah, okay, Radcliffe. Sounds too much like Brad Smith, Brad Pitt. So I don't want to use him as an example, but can we, if we, yeah, okay, whatever. He's good looking, according to my daughter. If we can't be honest with ourselves about what we are in the marketplace, right? Everybody now a product, right? Let's say that I'm out of the game, so I don't have a bone in this fight. I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't have to look any better than my husband expects me to. Although I do like to do it for myself. But for the rest of us who are out here being single, trying to hook up or get with somebody, how much honesty do we need to have in our lives for our relationships, for our health, and for our interactions with other people in other social dynamics? And I think I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys for joining me, all 2 of you. I'm going to leave it there on Instagram like that. And I'm going to move over to YouTube to discuss in more detail the situation of what that means, sexual marketplace value, and we're gonna talk about the Johari window. So thank you guys. I know Instagram doesn't really hold these videos too long, and so for storage purpose reasons, I like to also have them as a backup on YouTube so that my YouTube audience can take a look. So I will also be linking that in the description box below on Instagram so that you guys can go over to YouTube and check it out when you have a chance. The last 10 minutes, I guess, 5 minutes. So bye. All right, end video, share to IGTV. So guys, honestly, I really believe that okay, there's so Cynthia, there is something called the Johari window, right? When we talk about honesty, here's where it gets a little bit sticky, right? The Johari window is divided up into 4 parts. The first part is the known of what you know about yourself and what you're willing to share with other people. All right? This is what I know. This is what other people know about me because that's what I'm willing to share. The second part is what people know about you that they're willing to share. Wow, you're already yawning.
Sorry.
It's real talk. All right, so the second part is the part where people can share with you about what they know about you honestly, right? The third part is the part that people know about you that they don't want to share with you about you. So, yeah, like her t-shirt stink, or she got some beans in her teeth, or her breath smells, you know, like these are the little examples. And then the fourth part is the unknown. What you don't know about yourself and what people don't know about you because it's yet to be discovered. I use this example because I think that in honesty, speaking about honesty is the best policy. We tend to do ourselves and our whole identity a disservice when we can't explore that because we can't be honest with each other. And specifically to weight, because you know we started off with body positivity and how being fat has somehow become okay. You know, you have to love the body that you're in, and the other part of that doesn't really get told enough is love the body that you're in enough to try to make it the best body to be in. Which means if you really do love your body, you wouldn't let your body get out of control with diabetes, clogged arteries, and overweightness. You would do something to be fit, right? And just be motivated enough right now that you have clothes that are for working out, even though you're a plus size person. You know what I'm saying? So don't just cover yourself up with sweatpants and this or that, but also have your active clothes, your swimming clothes, so that you know you have enough motivation to put these clothes on and go move your ass so that you could lose the weight. But if it's to the point like I'm fat and I'm proud, you know what I'm saying? Like that to me is dangerous. Like be okay to be fat and just be fat forever. Is not the right message to have, because if I can't then say to somebody that I love, look, part of your problem is that you're overweight. If saying that is bad, then this person will never get the opportunity of having been told the truth by someone that they love, by someone that loves them enough to tell them the truth so that they can discover how great life could be without having to carry all of this weight. You see what I'm saying? So like the last time we had a conversation about a friend of yours, and there are many, so and the numbers are going up. So this can be, just insert name here, guys, because it can be really anybody. A friend of yours who has had problems with their weight. And I asked you specifically, if you were to tell this person you're overweight what would be their response?
What should I say again?
Yes, for those viewers.
It depends on which friend it is. So, one of them would get very emotional and take that as something bad. The other would be like, yeah, I know, and I don't care. It is what it is. So
Okay.
I gotta live with that. I don't feel like doing anything about it.
You don't feel like doing
If you
anything
have
about
a
it.
problem, if you have a problem, I don't care. Go away.
So
And
do
so
you,
then the other would be, yeah, I'm doing something about it. I think that I'm losing weight, and
you feel
I
she feels like she's losing weight, or she feels like she's not losing weight?
The other person would be, yeah, I feel like I'm losing weight, and I'm doing something about it. I'm going to the gym. I'm eating healthy.
Okay.
And I could show you pictures of how I have changed. So, yeah, like she wouldn't like post any pictures of her body, only like before and after, but like not like, only of her face.
And
But
has she made much improvement?
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't seen her in a long time, but the last time I saw her, yes.
Okay.
Like she had problems for years.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that she has been doing great progress. But the other friend who I've known for for the same amount of time, has always looked the same. Like she's on a diet, but she's not working out. You know?
Yeah, people
and that's not
yeah.
gonna help. She's lost weight. She's healthy. Like she's eating healthy, but she still has to work out.
That you see what she said there, folks? She's healthy.
She's eating healthy.
She's eating healthy.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
She's not healthy, but she's eating healthy. She's too lazy to get up and do something. I've tried to ask her, but as soon as we would do something, she would get tired, or she would feel like all depressed already. The only thing that would help was going bike riding.
And bike riding is amazing. Like bike riding is one of the easiest ways to lose weight.
Yeah.
I personally feel like, oh wow.
Because her bike broke, and she didn't feel like fixing that either. So.
She didn't feel like fixing her bike?
Yeah, she didn't feel like getting a new one after it broke.
Yeah, you see like that's the thing. Like I feel like if you don't put pressure on people, because it's hard. If you've lived this way your whole life, like let me break it down for you like this. You lived a certain way your whole life. It's a habit. It's a habit. Yeah, get out of there. You've lived your life a certain way for a while, and you're used to that.
Turn off the light.
And it's like a vicious cycle because they're used to being that way. They don't have they don't have that embedded in them. Like you say, the person's lazy. They don't want to move their cells, and the minute that an obstacle comes up, they're not able to come over the obstacle because it's too hard and it's too new. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Like that's why honesty is so important, because there needs to be a level of outside accountability until it becomes habit and second nature, until they can discover for themselves why this is important or that this is important. But if you lie to people and you tell everybody, it's okay, it's fine, you can already see working out makes her tired. So she gets discouraged. She needs to be constantly reminded and told of how bad it is for her at this point so that she doesn't give up. And when you tell people, oh, you can find clothes that'll fit you, or there'll be an extra large seat for you at the cinema, or
The cinema.
there'll be another, McDonald's will make sure that they never close until 11 o'clock. Then this is it's going to be even harder for the person I'm sorry, fast food restaurants. But hey, come on, man. Everybody's seen Super Size Me. There's no. This is public. See, this is the problem. You can't openly say smoking kills. Like, honestly, like, I was a smoker, right? On and off.
Most time.
Yeah, on and off for a long time. And then I wanted to have more children, right? That was the first thing that I had to stop doing. But I did not realize, man, this kid, I did not realize how difficult it would be to stop smoking until I had a motivation to stop smoking.
Polly!
Yeah. And then I was faced with the reality that because I was a smoker, that might not even be a possibility. You know? Every time I started going to the doctor from there on out, it became, oh my God, I smoked and drank and now I want to live a healthy life, but I haven't really earned it. And that means that you have to have a certain level of honesty with yourself, you know, and allow the people around you to be honest with you as well and say, yo, you're hurting yourself. This is a problem. You need to fix it. But if we have to worry about people's feelings all the time, because I feel like that other person who said that they don't care, they actually do care, but that's just a defense mechanism. Because they're in their feelings, right? So if you're in your feelings and nobody can't tell you nothing, then that's also a problem. You know what I mean? And yeah, if we can't be honest, and I think that is something specifically that women do to each other. Like my daughter gets offended all the time when I tell her some people are ugly and some people are pretty, and that's just the way it is. It doesn't mean that because you're not good looking, it doesn't mean that you won't meet someone or you won't find anybody, because there's somebody for everybody. Yes. But women have lied to each other and have told each other, oh, you're a 10. It doesn't matter that you're fat, or it doesn't matter that you're not the best looking, or that guys are not. You're still a 10. So then you have people walking around here with unrealistic viewpoints of themselves and goals, you know, who expect things from the world that they will never be able to accomplish, and then when they don't accomplish the things, then they don't understand why. Better to be honest with yourself about where you are, so that you can at least get to the next point, so you actually know what's capable of. Apollonia, what are you doing? We can't talk at the same. You're not gonna talk over me, ma'am. Ma'am. See, this is the problem. Accountability. You can't make this up, guys. You can't make this up. For the past 52 minutes, I have been talking, and she's been talking over me. Ma'am, I need you to sit down, and I need you to be quiet. Ma'am.
I can't like it.
So, what do you have to say to that, Cynthia?
You're right, Mom.
I don't want to be right. I want. Oh my God.
Like, stop.
You agree with me?
Yes.
So how?
There are people out there that I think, who I know that want to change, who want to lose weight. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to say this without being mean.
See? You see? That's being mean. If you went to a doctor and you had cancer, and I told you, Cynthia, you have cancer, you need chemotherapy immediately, otherwise you're going to die. Is that being mean?
No.
So why is it that telling a woman, ma'am, you are overweight, you need to lose 20 pounds immediately, otherwise you are going to drop dead of a heart attack, being mean?
No. I'm scared of you.
You're scared of me. I don't understand. This is why honesty has to be the best policy. This right here. Because if you think that telling a person, hey friend, what's going on? Why are you carrying all that weight? You need to drop a couple of pounds so that you and I can do more stuff together. Why is that a mean thing to say? Because we have been taught that honesty is not the best policy and that lying is better for everyone because everybody's feelings is more important than actually living your best life and knowing the truth. So you're gonna sit there in your Jahari window judging this person in the back of your head like, damn, they so fat, man, I wish they would do something about it, but I'm not gonna say anything because they're gonna get in their feelings. And then when they drop dead of a heart attack, you know what's gonna happen? You gonna feel guilty because you never had the courage to live in your honesty and truth. And you know what? As a parent, this is going to be the next topic, guys. Parenting. The next topic is going to be on parenting and how preparing your child for the real world and not for what you think they need to be prepared for is one of the hardest jobs, because this is the kind of conversation that my daughter and I and my husband have all the time when it comes to interacting with other people. You know what I mean? Teaching her things like, okay, people don't like people that are women that are uncooperative or mean or impolite, which probably is a part of the problem with you, I think.
What?
That you put polite over being honest. Yeah. That's men. You know what, guys? I think we're just going to have to end it here. I'm gonna have to this is one of the issues here. We gotta make sure that she understands that this is not a thing to do, to interrupt people when they're on their YouTube channel. And that part of polite interaction means that you learn how to keep it down a couple notches. And that when you really love someone, you should be able to tell them the truth because it shall set you free. All right. Like and leave your comments down below, guys. We will be seeing each other on Sunday on Patreon and on Instagram again with one of my very good friends. She's going to be joining me. You are naked. You don't need to be in the shot. I told you.
Adele, for example.
Adele. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, move her. Get at it.
Holly, you're not.
You were saying about Adele?
Yeah.
What about her? Oh, yeah, she just recently lost all that weight.
Yes.
Ah, yes. I recall. Mm-hmm.
Nobody's talking for me.
Everyone's talking about that, though.
Yeah.
How she lost weight. How you can see her face. She looks more pretty. You can see, like, how her face actually looks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you're fat, it makes you look completely different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honest, okay? I think she actually looked pretty before, too. Really, with her face. But the double chin wasn't helping, It wasn't
You need to wear a lot of turtlenecks.
Yeah. But you can see that she's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
That she can be pretty. And that she is.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she lost weight, it makes her look like a model.
Yeah.
She was even on the cover of Vogue,
She wasn't even what?
She was on the cover of Vogue.
Vogue?
Sorry.
Okay, it's fine. I'm done, guys. So take Adele as an example. She got all that money, she got her life together, and she lost the weight. Because I really believe that has something to do also with with quality of life. And rich people, for the most part, tend to be fit. Once you're able to afford a better lifestyle, people usually go for the fit, fun life.
Yeah.
I could tell you the minute I drop the baby, I have more energy. I'm just kidding. That's a bad example, guys. Don't take that as my example. But I do want to say that it's been real. Thank you for co-hosting with me today, Cynthia. Maybe next time you will actually be on camera with me.
Okay.
You know, you don't look that bad. I mean, she's always like, oh my God, I gotta put my face on. Like, what face? You're 12. You have youth and beauty. You don't need no face. You just need your face in this frame right here. This frame right here. This one. That's the
Not
frame.
12 anymore, Bob.
12, 16, same thing. Same thing. All right, guys. So, the next topic we are going to be discussing is the wife material. I know a lot of people are really into this because, you know, it's winter's coming and COVID has taught us a lot about being alone. It ain't fun. Well, I wish I could have that. I wish I knew what that was about because, you know, as you can see, I have a full house here. But for those of you who are looking to shack up and increase the number of people you're living with, you know, who, let's just say marriage, all right? Let's not mince words. For those of you who are interested in marriage, I know I find it very interesting that a lot of these women are talking about getting advice from women and lying to them and telling them that you need to be this and men need to be doing that. Look, I've been married 7 years and I can tell you the real about some of the do's and don'ts that will help you to get to that place. And bear in mind, for us black folk, black women, 1 in 4 of us will even get the chance to call someone a husband in our lifetime. And I've had 2. So I think I know a little bit of something about what are some of the things to look forward to and some of the things that you need to be considering doing if you want to be able to call yourself somebody's wife someday. And hopefully that someday is very, very soon if you're over 18. Over 21. Let's say over 21, 24, 25. That's a nice little window right there. Not too old, but hopefully I can convince my husband to be on that panel so that you guys can hear it from the horse's mouth what has worked in this marriage. All right. And not in just in this marriage, of course, in all of the research that I've done. And so if you like this content, like and subscribe. Thank you. See you guys again next time. Bye.